Have you ever felt like you're meant for more, but something keeps holding you back? Maybe you have big dreams, ambitious goals, or even simple changes you want to make. But every time you try, fear, doubt, or hesitation creeps in. What if I told you that your biggest obstacle isn't the world around you? It's your comfort zone, that invisible boundary in your mind that keeps you playing it safe. Today, I'm going to show you how to trick your comfort zone so that instead of stopping you, it actually pushes you forward. There's a famous quote by Neil Donald Walsh: "Life begins at the end of your comfort zone." But let's be honest, stepping out of your comfort zone isn't easy. Your brain is wired for safety, and the moment you try something unfamiliar, it floods you with fear, anxiety, or even excuses to quit. That's why so many people stay stuck, even when they desperately want change. But what if I told you that you don't have to make a massive leap all at once? Instead, you can trick your brain into adapting to new challenges in a way that feels natural, even exciting. Think about the most successful people in the world: athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, and leaders. Do you think they achieved greatness by staying comfortable? No. They learned how to reprogram their mindset to embrace discomfort in small, manageable ways. They trained their brains to see challenges as opportunities rather than threats. And today, I'm going to show you how you can do the same. If you've ever hesitated to chase a dream, start a new habit, or push yourself further, this might be the most important video you watch. So, let me ask you now, are you truly satisfied with where you are? Or do you feel like something is missing, like you're capable of so much more? If you've ever felt frustrated by slow progress, stuck in repetitive patterns, or held back by fear, then listen closely. Because what I'm about to share isn't just motivation, it's a strategy, a practical, step-by-step approach to trick your mind into growing beyond its limits without feeling overwhelmed. By the end of this video, you'll have powerful techniques to break free from fear, take action with confidence, and create a version of yourself you never thought possible. But this only works if you're willing to commit, to challenge yourself, and to trust the process. So sit tight, pay close attention, and let's unlock your full potential together. Let's dive in. 1. Make small, intentional changes. One of the easiest ways to begin expanding your comfort zone is by making small, intentional changes in your daily routine. Your brain loves predictability, which is why you tend to stick to the same habits without thinking. But by introducing small changes, you start training your mind to become more adaptable. For example, if you always take the same route to work, try a different one. If you always order the same meal at a restaurant, pick something you've never tried before. These minor shifts may seem trivial, but they teach your brain that change is not a threat. It's an opportunity for something new. Another simple change is switching up your daily habits. If you always wake up at the same time, try waking up 30 minutes earlier and using that extra time for something productive, like reading, exercising, or journaling. If you usually listen to music, try a podcast that challenges your thinking. If you typically wear neutral colors, experiment with something bold. These small adjustments might not feel like they're pushing you out of your comfort zone, but over time, they create a mindset that is more open to change. Even changing how you interact with the world can help. If you tend to avoid talking to strangers, start by making small talk with a cashier, a coworker, or a neighbor. If you're uncomfortable making eye contact, challenge yourself to hold someone's gaze for an extra second. These tiny, controlled shifts Help your brain realize that stepping outside of your normal behavior isn't as scary as it seems. Over time, what once felt uncomfortable will become second nature. The key is consistency. If you commit to making small changes every day, your brain begins to rewire itself to embrace uncertainty rather than fear it. And once you develop the habit of welcoming small changes, you'll find it much easier to tackle bigger ones, like pursuing a new career, moving to a new city, or taking on a major challenge. It all starts with small, intentional shifts that train your brain to see discomfort as a path to growth. 2. Do something uncomfortable every day. Stepping outside your comfort zone doesn't have to be a massive, life-changing decision. In fact, the best way to trick your mind into embracing discomfort is by doing one uncomfortable thing every day. It doesn't have to be extreme, just something that pushes you slightly beyond your normal limits. The more you expose yourself to discomfort, the more comfortable you become with it, and eventually, the things that once scared you will feel completely normal. A great way to start is by doing things that make you nervous in small ways. If you're scared of speaking up in meetings, start by making one short comment. If you struggle with talking to new people, begin by complimenting a stranger or asking a simple question. If you avoid making phone calls, challenge yourself to make one unnecessary call just to practice. These small acts of discomfort add up over time, making you more confident and resilient. Another strategy is to voluntarily put yourself in slightly challenging situations. If you're nervous about eating alone in public, go to a cafe and sit by yourself. If you hate being the center of attention, practice standing in front of a mirror and speaking as if you're giving a speech. If you're scared of rejection, challenge yourself to ask for a small favor from a stranger, like borrowing a pen. These experiences train your mind to handle discomfort without fear. Eventually, you'll start seeing discomfort as a challenge rather than something to avoid. Your brain will adapt, and what once felt intimidating will start feeling natural. This is how growth happens. Not through giant leaps, but through small, repeated exposure to things that scare you. Before you know it, things that once felt impossible will become effortless. So ask yourself, what is one thing you can do today that makes you slightly uncomfortable? Whether it's trying a new activity, speaking up, or stepping into an unfamiliar situation, taking even the smallest step outside your comfort zone will start to shift your mindset. The more you do this, the more unstoppable you become. 3. Reframe fear as excitement. Did you know that fear and excitement feel almost identical in the body? Your heart races, your breathing quickens, and adrenaline surges. But the only difference between fear and excitement is the story you tell yourself. Instead of saying, "I'm nervous about giving this presentation," say, "I'm excited to share my ideas." By reframing your emotions, you can trick your brain into associating discomfort with positive outcomes rather than danger. This technique works in all areas of life. If you're afraid of social interactions, instead of thinking, "I'm scared of meeting new people," tell yourself, "I'm excited to make new connections." If you're nervous about trying a new activity, replace "I'm not ready for this" with "I can't wait to see what I learn from this experience." Your brain follows the narrative you give it, so changing your words can change how you feel. A practical way to practice this is by noticing when you feel nervous and immediately reframing it. The next time you feel butterflies in your stomach, pause and say, "This is excitement, not fear." If you're about to do something challenging, remind yourself, this is an opportunity, not a threat. The more you reframe these moments, the more your brain starts associating discomfort with something exciting rather than something to avoid. Another trick is to smile when you feel nervous. It may sound strange, but research shows that forcing yourself to smile can actually reduce stress and trick your brain into feeling more confident. So, before a big moment, whether it's a job interview, a public speech, or a difficult conversation, take a deep breath, smile, and remind yourself that fear is just energy waiting to be directed into excitement. By mastering this mindset shift, you'll stop seeing fear as an enemy and start seeing it as a sign that you're on the edge of something great. The more you do this, the more fearless you'll become in every area of life. Instead of avoiding discomfort, you'll start seeking it out, because you'll know that on the other side of fear is growth, success, and transformation. Final thoughts. Your comfort zone is not a fixed boundary. It's a mental construct that can be stretched, expanded, and rewritten. The key is not to make huge, terrifying leaps, but to trick your brain into embracing small, manageable challenges. By making tiny changes, doing uncomfortable things daily, and reframing fear as excitement, you can gradually reprogram your mind to see discomfort as a natural part of growth. Think about it. Every major achievement in life happens outside of your comfort zone. Whether it's learning a new skill, building confidence, or reaching your dreams, the path to success is paved with discomfort. But the good news is, you don't have to take massive, scary leaps. You just need to take small, consistent steps that gradually expand your limits. So, I challenge you, what's one thing you can do today that pushes your boundaries just a little? Whether it's trying something new, speaking up, or stepping into an unfamiliar situation, take that first step. Because once you do, you'll realize that your comfort zone was never meant to hold you back. It was meant to be broken. Everything you want, your growth, your success, your dreams, is waiting just outside your comfort zone. Are you ready to step into it? So now you know, the secret to breaking free from your comfort zone isn't about making huge, terrifying leaps. It's about tricking your brain step by step into seeing discomfort as normal, manageable, and even exciting. Every small action you take, every challenge you embrace, and every fear you reframe adds up to something bigger. Growth, confidence, and a life that isn't limited by fear. The question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you stay where you are, or will you take that first step toward the life you truly want? The truth is, everything you desire, success, new experiences, personal growth, and unforgettable opportunities, is just beyond the walls of your comfort zone. But those walls aren't as solid as they seem. Every time you make a small change, take a tiny risk, or push yourself just a little further, you weaken those barriers until eventually they don't exist at all. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment. You don't need to feel completely ready. You just need to start. Imagine where you could be 6 months from now if you committed to doing one uncomfortable thing every day. What new skills would you have? What fears would no longer control you? How much more confident and unstoppable would you feel? The version of you that you dream about, the one who is fearless, successful, and living life on their terms, is not as far away as you think. That version of you is simply on the other side of consistent, small, courageous actions. So, here's your challenge. Pick one thing today that pushes your comfort zone, even just a little. Maybe it's speaking up in a conversation, trying something new, or taking the first step toward a goal you've been putting off. Whatever it is, commit to it. And then come back tomorrow and do it again. Keep going until discomfort no longer scares you, until it excites you. Because once you train your mind to embrace discomfort, you become unstoppable. If this video inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Drop a comment below and let me know. What's one thing you're doing today to push your comfort zone? I'd love to hear your journey and cheer you on. Remember, growth happens at the edge of what's familiar. Keep challenging yourself, keep expanding, and I'll see you in the next video.